Hey everyone, and welcome to another video! Today's video, I am filming my Ben Recommends Fantasy. So Ben Recommends is kind of this segment I've had on my channel for quite a while now, and it's basically where I pick a subgenre, or for other words, fantasy, contemporary, paranormal, that kind of thing, and I recommend you books from that sub-genre. So today I picked fantasy because you guys have always been like, Ben, you need to recommend some fantasy. And since I obviously have got into reading fantasy, I feel like I'm in a position where I can recommend you some good books. Now don't get me wrong, I am going to be reading some more fantasy books, and hopefully I might be able to do a part 2 of this, but I'm going to be recommending some high fantasy and some urban fantasy, so let's get to it. Oosh. Starting off, the book that got me into reading fantasy is obviously The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. It's all about a hobbit who goes on a absolutely incredible journey and meets along his way some fellow people. And yeah, there's dragons involved and magic involved and fire involved and war involved, and yeah, so read this book if you haven't, because I really recommend it, and don't let it be daunting to you guys, because it's not. I'm going to recommend to you first Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rush. You've heard me talk about this a lot, but let me tell you guys, this is such a creative, awesome fantasy read about a girl who comes from basically this world set into different kingdoms, and the kingdoms are based on seasons, and the Winter Kingdom, where the girl is from, she's an orphan, is kind of destroyed, and the people who are left are kind of travelling and trying to find peace and trying to find somewhere to like live, yet they kind of can't survive because their magical conduct, which each season has a magical conduct, is missing. Come and read. Oh my gosh, guys, this book is just so good. It was such an amazing fantasy read. Can't wait for the second book. Can't wait for the second book. Can't wait for the second book. Go and read this book. I think it'll really please you guys. The Whispers of the Fallen by J.E. Netto. I'm going to be recommending this book, right, guys? Now, this book is absolutely awesome. It is filled with fantasy. You have two brothers and they stumble across a book which is very sacred, wanted after. There's angels, there's demons, there's blood drinkers, there's all sorts of craziness in this book. The love, romance, friendship, everything you could want in a fantasy read. I don't want to tell you too many, because what I'm worried about is if I give too much away about this book, I don't want you to spoil it for you. I just want you to guys read it with like a completely fresh mind. It's just good though, and it's involving Lucifer and all of that kind of thing, so I think you can kind of get a gist of where I'm going. It's just such an awesome read. It's very pleasing aesthetically, because the cover is amazing, yet as well educationally, or would it say educationally? Or is it educationally? It's just pleasing because it's such a good read. I love this and the sequel, and what I really like about this book is at the beginning of each chapter you have the creator, the lion, there. So come read this book and find out what it's about. The Firestones, another book which has just been published. This is I would say fantasy, but it's kind of sci-fi too, but I wanted to add this in here because it's a futuristic world after a massive problem where people are kind of living on behind the times, and every child is born in twins. You have one twin who's the perfect healthy body and the other twin who's deformed in some way. It's about this brother and sister, the brother who's healthy and the sister who hasn't got any outward like inabilities, but inside she's a seer and she can see the future, and she's kind of very sought after, and it's just a very fast-paced book, but it's really a lot of world building and character development, which I loved. It's all about alphas and omegas, so if you like the sound of that, then definitely check this out because I think you guys would really enjoy it. Oh my god, this book, Bound by Duty by Stormy Smith, guys. Let me just tell you something. This book is all about a girl, and she knows she has powers, and she's moved away from her dad to a kind of college where her brother lives nearby because she wants to get out, and she's trying to cope with this fact that she has all these really awesome like abilities, yet she is living in a world with normal people. But it turns out that she is something very special, and she is kind of, although she knows about the world of elders and magic and the queen, she kind of is thrown even deeper into this world, and secrets are unmasked, and family aren't who they think they are, and it's just absolutely look at this book, you can tell I've read it, like everything's bent. It just was such a phenomenal read. Amelia was such an awesome character because you can really see her develop through this story, not only develop as a character but develop her ability to use her powers. She's very strong, she does loads of cool traits, and I know I'm not the only one saying this, you know when you're in school, when like real life without the book, you know, when you're in school and you're like, oh, this thing's annoying me, and you always envision things happening like, oh, I wish I could just fly away, or I wish I could do this. Well, there's scenes in here which I love because it just is like brings me back to those feelings where she's in the school and she's like, ah, and then something happens and she's like, oh dear. So just get this book. It is super good and super cheap on Kindle too. So, but I recommend this book, and the second one, Bound by Spells, is coming out really soon, which I can't wait for. Young Elites by Marie Lu is such an awesome fantasy read, guys. So awesome, about a girl who, basically in this world, there's children who have abilities, and they're called the Young Elites. And that is due to an illness that happened and left some people scarred, and those who weren't scarred, those discarded, and these people had these abilities. And that about a girl who, one day, God, just stumbles across her power in a really crazy way, and she's thrown into this world where she joins like this secret society of people who are trying to overthrow the royalty, and it's just, oh my gosh. So epic and awesome and dusty apparently. I loved this book so much. I did a book talk on this book, so I'm going to leave that link down below if you want to go check it out, which I really recommend you guys do. Can't wait for the next book, and the cover's just been released and I love it. So beautiful. Another awesome book here is The Emissary. You've heard me talk about this in the past, but this is a really, really cool book by Crystal Sharp. Now let me tell you what it's about. So there's these people in this world, and some of them have abilities, and there's 6 powers, right? There is, let me read them to you. There's inhuman strength, speed, accuracy, perception, empathy, and healing. And these people go and join the army, and it's all about this boy whose brother goes to join the army, and things completely get flipped around. There's like magic, there's superpowers, there's betrayal, there's fantasy, like ridiculous amounts of just awesomeness. And I feel like this is like a cross between like Red Queen and yeah, just like that kind of feel with the powers. But I really think you guys should read this book because it's so good. And yeah, if you want to know more about this book, then go check out the Goodreads page, but I highly, highly, highly recommend it. So there you are, guys. That's my video. I hope you guys enjoy. That's my quick little Ben Recommends Fantasy. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or if you want to read any of these books, and please let me know if there's any other fantasy books I should read, because I know there's loads of books, and I know a lot of you are going to say The Lord of the Rings, but let me tell you, I've got them. I'm going to be reading them really soon, really soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up if you liked, and comment down below, and I will see you over on Twitter and Instagram. Blah, blah.